think the big question on everyone's minds over the last couple of weeks has been, now that SVB has failed and First Republic was just on the brink, what happens to home buying in San Francisco, where those two banks have been giving out loans at rates that over the last 6 months were better than all other folks at the table? Well, why don't we talk about it? First things first, please go ahead and click that subscribe button to be notified of any of these videos coming out as soon as they do. If you're into consuming market information in video format, this is a great way to do so. Overall, as I take stock at what's been going on this spring, I'm cautiously optimistic for those of us who own property in San Francisco. We'll get into the sales I'm seeing in the market that lead me to feel that way in a sec. But first, let's set the frame. Now, I like to keep track of where rates are so that I can help my clients set their expectations and help them navigate to the right choice of lender. Up front, I love First Republic Bank. It's truly always been a pleasure working with them. They get things done so quickly and they're so concerned about clients. More recently, they were offering mortgage rates that pretty much outclassed everyone else, making it a really easy consideration for my clients to go with them. Now, over the last few weeks, it came to light that they were in a cash poor position, and the folks keeping them afloat have come in with some conditions that pretty much put an end to the party. Now, you're seeing rates jump about 1.65%. Easy math, on $1 million loan, a 1.65% rate jump leads to an extra $13.75 a month in interest payments. At $10 a pop, that's approximately 4 avocado toasts a day, which is a lot. Interestingly, Wells Fargo rates are still at around 5%, or 0.35% more than First Republic's lowest offering last month, which is much more manageable at 1 fewer avocado toast per day. On top of the fact that you can still get low rates, in San Francisco, inventory is super low. In single family, compared to this time last year, we have about a third of the number of homes on market, and you're getting really good absorption. In condos, we have about half as many. All else equal, fewer homes on the market means prices go up. Obviously, all else is not equal, but I don't know if it matters. If we look at where properties are clearing, our single family homes and our condos are selling somewhere in the same dollar per square foot ballpark they were at this time in 2021. Now, granted, that was when the market in SF was just starting to heat up after the COVID exodus, but it's telling that despite all of the negative news and rates having almost doubled from that early part of 2021, we're in a pretty good position. So you can see how the 10,000 foot view leaves me feeling cautiously optimistic. Let's drill down into a few recent sales to see what's going on behind those numbers. 780 4th Ave in the Richmond. I had a client looking at this one. This house was on the market for 12 days, which is pretty normal San Francisco timing. Really beautifully done with a super charming yard. What was interesting was that this part of the Richmond is a little removed from the action on Clement Street, and the house only had 2 bedrooms. Now that said, the listing agent here was totally right when she said, quote, "It just has that magic quality to it." They got 7 offers and they ended up selling it for nearly $600,000 over their list price. Now, given the closing timeline, you can bet it was a cash offer that got this one. Shifting over to 2555 30th Ave in the Parkside. Now, this property doesn't offer us a lot of photos. They took them down once they went pending, but you might be able to use your imagination as I describe it. It's a fully renovated 4-bed home in the Parkside with wide plank oak floors, quartz counters in the kitchen, stainless steel appliances, and all the rest that you might expect from a full redo. The location allows commuters easy access to the 280, and you're right on Stern Grove so you can walk your pup. Notably, it came on the market given the macro backdrop that we've been discussing and sold in just 2 days for well over its list price. The listing agent let me know that it was over 2.6, but was a little bit more mum on specifics. 667 28th Street in Noe Valley. Now, I like looking at the houses that are a little bit off the beaten path. I know something in prime Noe around 24th Street is going to sell well, rain, sleet, or hail, as has been the case in San Francisco more recently. But how does something at the top of a steep hill, adjacent to a great area, but not super walkable sell? Well, this redone 3-bed got 5 offers in 12 days on market. Again, that timing is totally normal in San Francisco. Notably, the offers came right after First Republic Bank hiked rates by that 1.5% to compensate for months of reduced rates. Anytime there's a change in the environment, you wonder how the most proximate sales are going to be impacted. Example is that right after the city shut down for COVID, sales still kept up strongly because a lot of the folks had been shopping before the shutdown and were ready to buy. Now, the jury's still a bit out with the banks, but this is a good omen nevertheless. 919 Elizabeth. I ended up looking at this one with some clients who wound up buying in Coal Valley. It's a lower level unit that was an easy walk to 24th Street. The listing agent has immense taste, and she put together this really, really wonderful listing. The killer feature, as with most of these single family substitute condos, is that it had an amazing walkout garden, and the south-facing windows that brought light into the living and kitchen areas were nothing short of inspiring. I think they also got 7 or 8 offers here, and they went $250,000 over their list price. Now, it was really interesting because it was juxtaposed with a single family a little bit down the road on Eureka that got a couple of offers at 1.9, more or less where the sellers bought it in 2020. But because they didn't want to lose any money on the sale, they packed up that house and they're trying to rent it out now for about $8,500 a month. But that condo would sell for $350,000 more than a single family is kind of interesting. 830 Coal in Coal Valley. Now, I didn't look at this one, but it's near where clients bought on Schrader. This one was also on the market for just 12 days, which again, very normal in San Francisco. Huge with over 2,000 square feet, and the location is amazing. The listing agent here has a lot of experience and he very much knows what he's doing. I know he got his clients a good price with this one. Elsewhere in the market, just to take a look at highs and lows, we saw a $10.5 million sale on Green, a $5.5 million sale on Washington, and another $6 million sale on Jordan. So even those types of homes are finding buyers, albeit with a few more days on market. All of that positive news aside, we are seeing some wobbles. First, 579 27th Street number C, which last sold in 2019, was on the market for a couple of weeks before they tried to take offers. They only ended up getting one offer, which was a bit below their list price. And it was we've seen with other properties like that one on Eureka I was telling you about. The sellers here weren't inclined to take the offer because it would have had them losing money on their home. Now, different than previous months' examples where owners refused to sell, the sellers here moved out of state and the listing agent staged the property. Those are both signs that they want to get a deal done, but we'll see if it ends up going down that path or if they end up like other properties that get yanked from the market because the sellers don't want to lose money and would rather rent. I put together an analysis for a client with a beautiful, fully redone loft in SOMA the other day. While back to work is gaining steam, we're still seeing lethargy in the SF markets that cater to commuters. Rates of properties entering contract are pretty low here in SOMA at about 33%, with overall days on market for sold properties going well over a month. So you're going to be waiting. As a seller, you're starting to count the dollars flowing out of your pocket when a typical staging contract is 60 days with a 30-day renewal period thereafter. You're also thinking about things like property taxes and all of your interest payments that are kind of going out the window while you're not able to rent it out. Now that said, it does seem like lower priced properties, even in the slower markets, are moving a little bit better than things that are asking a bit more. The one beds that were mostly under $1 million are still kicking, and maybe an outlier, but one even went for well over its asking price in the first week that the property was being marketed. Another analysis for a client bringing a 2-bed condo to market in Eureka Valley points again to this notion that things priced lower in their category are likely to find ready and willing buyers. Our square footage and specific location makes me think that we're somewhere in the 1.2 to 1.3 range, where there simply is no inventory. Obviously, time will tell, and we won't be to market until mid-May, but inventory is selling if it's nice and available. So when we think about the market, we can definitely see it's a mixed bag. Prices are down overall, but they haven't really been coming down since the end of last year, and it doesn't seem like the loss of rates in the 4% is really hampering us quite yet, because inventory is so low that people are accepting higher monthly payments resulting from higher rates, and prices are on the rise. Other questions on the horizon include the risk of a recession that apparently Wall Street just can't seem to get enough of. Now, recession would result in job losses, but it feels like San Francisco has already been going through a recession and layoffs in a way that other parts of the country just simply haven't experienced yet. I'm not sure we're going to feel negative impacts to broader narratives in the same way others will. And we're seeing a lot of heads popping up to see what they can buy. Of course, we went through a lot today. If you have any questions about San Francisco property, I'd love to be a sounding board. Please feel free to email me at the address that's been jumping across your screen. I'll be happy to get back to you.